Hello friends, welcome to Career Strategist. We are going to discuss today one topic of mathematics which will be useful for CSAT 2020 and also chapter, that is number system. This class will be very useful for all competitive examinations of one year including civil services, CSAT, SSC-CGL, IBPS and all other examinations like bank PO. Hopefully you will enjoy this class. The pace of this class will be slow so that everybody can understand it easily, and moreover a comprehensive questions will be discussed of the different variety in each and every topic, so that you will have enough practice for each and every type of questions. So it will be a comprehensive lecture and it will take some time as well, because we have to cover the wide areas and all type of questions in each and every segment of this mathematics. So let us start today the very first chapter, that is number system, without wasting time, and I am here to discuss this number system. In number system, this is chapter 1 of this class, and I hope you will enjoy this. What is number system and what type of question will come? So chapter 1 in number system, we will discuss the types of numbers and moreover the questions on the basis of this. So what is the number system and what are the things which we should know? Numbers, basically first we are going to discuss about the type of numbers, and thereafter there are different type of use of those numbers we will discuss. So numbers are basically when you are very kid, a small kid, then your parents teach you from 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So basically this is a natural numbers, and this type of counting called natural numbers. Natural numbers. So natural numbers start from 1, 2, 3. And this is a natural counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These are the natural numbers, and they taught you that you should start from 1 to counting, means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Why this is natural numbers? Because they exist in nature. So one plane, one bag, one toy, one glass is available in this has Persians, and this has physical Persians. So that is why these are called natural numbers. Moreover, later on with discussion and other things will come, and mathematics is being corrected by Indians, and they say no, 0 is a number, and therefore when 0 is included in this group of natural numbers, they are considered as whole numbers. Whole numbers start from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Although 0 do not exist in nature, and that is why we cannot say 0 is a natural number, because 0 aeroplane is not existed, 0 glass is not there, 0 house is not present. So that is why they have no natural existence, and that is why 0 is not included in natural number, but 0 is a part of whole number. This type of numbers, when you come in class 6th and 7th, then the people start you to say fractional numbers. Fractional numbers is a numbers which will be like 1 by 2. Fractional numbers is something which is between 1 and 2 and less than 1, then 1 by 2, 1 by 3, 1 by 4, 4 by 3, 3 by 4, etc. These are called these are called fractional numbers. Then you should know about the negative numbers as well. So negative natural numbers can be, that is called integers. So integers is there, and integers is being introduced to you like -3, -2, -1, -2, -1, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like this. So these are integers. Here two type of integers. So one of them is called positive integers, other is called negative integers. So positive integers we can say like this. Positive integers are like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are positive integers. Negative integers are like Negative integers, that can be written as like -3, -2, -1, and -1, etc. 0 is considered neither positive nor negative. So 0 is neither positive nor negative. So fraction numbers, then you come to know about even number and odd numbers. Even numbers are those numbers which can be divided by 2 without leaving any remainder. So 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, these are the numbers which is even numbers. Or in other words, one can say that number ending with 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 are called even numbers. Right now, the numbers ending with, let me write this, the numbers ending with digits 0, 2, 4, 6, 8 are called even numbers, right? Even numbers. Then there is another terminology which will come up, that is called odd numbers. Odd numbers, what is that? Odd numbers. So odd numbers are those numbers which will not even, but they are odd. That is 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, 11, 13, like this. These are odd numbers. That is the number ending with, the numbers ending with digits 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, etc. They are called 1, 3, 5, 7, 9 are called odd numbers, right? So even numbers and odd numbers. Then there is another terminology come into way, that is called prime and composite numbers. Prime numbers, what is that? So you came to know that prime numbers are those numbers which has exactly 2 divisors. The number which has exactly 2 divisors, exactly 2 divisors, called prime numbers. Divisors called prime numbers. And exactly 2 divisors. Which one 2 divisors? One is 1 and itself. Exactly 2 divisors. 1 and itself. 1, this one, and itself, called prime numbers. Right? Numbers. And except prime numbers, all other numbers, natural numbers, are called composite numbers. Except prime numbers, like some example of prime numbers I can give here, that is 2, 3, 5, 7, 17, 19, 23, 29, and 31, and then 37, then 41, 43, 47, etc. These are prime numbers. So except 2, you can refer here that 2 is the only even prime number. Except 2, all other prime numbers are odd prime numbers. So 2 is the only even prime numbers. The only even prime number is 2. And how many prime numbers could be up to 50? 15 prime numbers. You can check here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So there are 15 prime numbers. So some important point to be noted here, that right, point 1 is, note down, 2 is the only even prime number. Only even prime numbers. 2 is the only even prime number, right? And there are 15 prime numbers. There are 15 prime numbers up to 50. There are 25 prime numbers up to 100. Up to 100 there are 25 prime numbers. So I hope you got this very useful information of this, that there are 15 prime numbers up to 50 and there are 25 prime numbers up to 100. 2 is the only even prime numbers. 1 is neither prime nor composite numbers. I can write here, moreover, that what is 1? 1 is neither prime nor composite. 1 is neither prime nor composite number. So one term comes into way that what is composite numbers. You do not know till now that what are the composite numbers. So I'll tell you. One more information about this is, so there are, right, there are there are 46 prime numbers. There are 46 prime numbers up to 200. There are 62 prime numbers up to 300. There are 78 prime numbers up to 400. And there are 95 prime numbers up to 500. And you must wanted to know that how many up to 1000. So 168 prime numbers up to 1000. So these are some information, and these are informations which is for interest, and you may remember. One more important thing that I would like to tell you, that largest prime number which has been searched in January 2019, the largest prime number in January 2019 which was searched is 2 raised to the power is this, which has 2486048 digits. When it is written to the base 10. So this many digits, 24, 862, 48 digits, and this is the largest prime number which has been discovered in January 2019. So these are the some information in the prime numbers. Then there are the another term which I wanted to tell you, that is composite numbers. What is composite numbers? Composite numbers are, except prime numbers and 1, all other natural numbers are composite numbers. That is, composite numbers must have at least 3 divisors. You know. So then numbers are said to be composite numbers. For that is, one can say except prime numbers and 1 all natural numbers are composite numbers, you know. So except prime numbers and 1, all other natural numbers are composite numbers. For example, one can write here 4. Let's start with 4 because 4 has at least 3 divisors. 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 12, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 20, 21, etc. These are all composite numbers. So one thing must be clear here, that 1 is neither prime nor composite number. 1 is neither prime nor composite number. You must remember this. Composite numbers. 1 is neither prime nor composite number. Got it? 1 is neither prime nor composite number. 1 is different number. So 1 is entirely different one. You must keep this in mind. Now, what about prime number? There are two other type of numbers as well. Let me explain those one also. That is called rational and irrational numbers. Irrational numbers. Irrational numbers are those numbers. What is the rational numbers? Irrational numbers are a number which can be written in form of P by Q, where Q is not equal to 0 and P and Q are integers called rational numbers. Right? So rational numbers are nothing but they are all fractional numbers where P and Q are integers. So the number which can be represented like 3, minus 3 can be also represented as minus 3 by 1. So minus 2 can be represented as minus 2 by 1. So all negative integers are rational numbers. 0 is also rational number because 0 can be written as 0 by 1, 0 by 2, where Q should not be equal to 0. Here is the point that Q should not be equal to 0. P may be 0 and P and Q are integers. So 0 is an integer. So 0 is also a rational number. 3 by 4, 5 by 7, minus 9 by 11. You know, this is 7, 8, 16, minus 16. All are rational numbers. Even some numbers which is in form of this 4, that is also a rational number because the square root of 4 is 2. Even it is written 9 by 7, then that is also a rational number. You know, because 9 square root of 9 is 3 by 7. If someone written as 9 by 25, then this is also a rational number because it after simplification this will be 3 by 5. So etc. all rational numbers, because after simplification we have to see whether this is in form of P by Q or not. If it is in form of P by Q and P and Q are not integers, P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. P and Q must be integer and Q should not be equal to 0. So they are called rational numbers. Except rational numbers, all other numbers are called irrational numbers. All other real numbers are called irrational numbers. So irrational numbers. Except rational number. Rational numbers. All other real numbers are called irrational numbers. That is which cannot be represented in form of P by Q, right? So we can write this irrational number. How this irrational number? Irrational number is a number which cannot be represented in form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers. So like root 2, root 3, root 2 by 7. This is not in form of P and Q are not integer. 3 by root 7, like this. These are cube root of 5. This square root of 11, that is fifth root of 4, that is etc. All these numbers are irrational numbers. Remember, pi is an irrational number. Irrational numbers. Many people may ask why pi is an irrational number. Because pi can be written in form of 22 by 7. Yes, you are right. Pi is 22 by 7, where P and Q are integers. But this is not an accurate value. This is an approximate value. Approximate value 22 by 7. This is not accurate value because pi is defined from diameter of the earth. Angle is equal to arc by radius formula. So that is why because Earth is in oblate shape and the diameter is not fixed, and that is why pi is not fixed. Although it has been calculated till 22 place of decimals accurately, but still it is not fixed. So that is why 22 by 7 is an most appropriate and approximate value, but it is not it. So pi, remember, pi is an irrational number. Pi is an irrational number. So any multiple of pi would be also irrational number, like 2 pi, 3 pi, 4 pi, pi by 2, etc. All are irrational numbers. Rational and irrational both are called real numbers. Real numbers are those numbers, real numbers. All type of numbers are called real numbers, except imaginary numbers. Real numbers are the numbers which can exist, right now, which can exist. So, all it is rational and irrational. All rational and irrational numbers and irrational numbers are real numbers. Mix are part of real numbers, are part of real numbers, right now. So, means those which exist in reality. Although 0 is not exist, but we can write 0 is a real number. Why? Because 0 is something which can happen. Suppose you have one apple and you ate it. So, where it is exist? It exists in your stomach. But in present, outside of your stomach, it is not in existence. So, 0 is set of real number. 0 is included in set of real number. And what are the other kind of number? That is called imaginary number. Imaginary number which has not in existence. That is called imaginary numbers. Imaginary numbers are those numbers which do not exist, but it is come from imagination only. The hypothetical number. Hypothetical number. Hypothetical number treated like real numbers are called imaginary numbers. Imaginary numbers. It is coming from imagination, but it has certain rules, and therefore this type of number is also to be studied at higher level, because imaginary number has great use, and with imagination and algorithm of imaginary number, a complex number can be generated which has great use. So, imaginary number is a number. What type of number are said to be imaginary number? Suppose if someone asks you what is the square root of 4, you can say plus minus 2, right now? Because what is the square root of number? The definition is a square root of a number is a number which multiply itself give the original number. 2 is a square root of 4 because 2 multiplied by 2 will be equal to 4. Minus 2 is also a square root of 4 because minus 2 multiplied by minus 2 is also equal to 4. So here plus 2 multiplied by plus 2 is equal to 4. Minus 2 multiplied by minus 2 is also 4. But plus 2 multiplied by plus 2 is 4. And minus 2 multiplied by minus 2 is also 4. So here there are two values. One is plus 2, another is minus 2. Suppose someone has to find the square root of 9, then easily one can write plus minus 3 because there are two values which will come. But suppose someone asks what is the square root of minus 4, then there is no answer. You cannot answer until now you say that a square root of negative number is not possible. Yes, this is right. You are right that a square root of any negative number is not possible because it cannot have any positive number, because positive multiplied by positive, positive multiplied by positive is also equal to a positive number. And if you say negative, then negative multiplied by negative is also a negative positive number. So neither positive is possible, neither negative number is possible, and therefore no such numbers which is categorized in terms of positive or negative, they are not possible. So what they say, that is because of this negative sign there is a problem. One can say this is a square root of minus 1, and a square root of -1, someone has imagined that a square root of -1 is iota. Iota stands for imagination. That is a hypothetical number which do not have existence, but they imagine that a square root of -1 is iota. Iota. You read as iota. Iota. Right? And this is a Greek letter. So iota is a square root of -1. So wherever this term is iota used, that is means the number is come from imagination and it do not have real existence. So a square root of -4 can be written as 4 into a square root of -1, and a square root of -1 is nothing else but iota. So what one can write that a square root of 4 is ±2 and a square root of -1 is iota, so ±2 iota. Similarly, a square root of -9 can be written as ±3 iota. A square root of -12 can be written as ±2√3 iota. And those numbers which has iota as a suffix, you can say, followed by iota, it means it is a title, and such numbers are called imaginary numbers. Remember, iota square is -1. So this you must remember. Iota, because iota is under root -1 is iota. If you square both the sides, then what will happen? On a squaring, you will get it. Iota square is -1. And iota q, if someone has to write, then what is they can write? Iota square into iota. That is -1. Iota square is -1 into iota. That is minus iota. And iota to the power 4 can be written as iota square whole square. Iota square is -1 and whole square, that is 1. So even this is a very ambiguous and interesting fact that iota to the power 4 is 1 and 1 is a real number which has an existence. So how imaginary numbers can be turned into a real number? That is a very big question, but still nobody has answered it, that why this happened and how this happened. Even I asked in big conference of international seminar and that why this happened. Nobody able to answer, although the great mathematician were there from IIT and IIT Chennai and IIT Mumbai, and some big authors are there also, but they are not able to answer. So even I am not able to answer that why this imaginary number turn into real number, but because imaginary number do not have existence. But interestingly, this is a fact that we can write iota to the power 4 is equal to 1, and in place of imaginary number we can write a real number. So let me complete this summary, that what is that and what you learned till now that in number system. In number system you have learned that the numbers which is made of real and imaginary, they are called complex numbers. Complex number is, say, generator of all the numbers, complex numbers. And complex numbers are like 2 plus 3 iota. 2 is a real number and 3 iota is an imaginary number, like 5 minus 7 iota. So this is a real number and that one is imaginary number. Minus 3 plus 2 iota, that is again minus 3 is a real number and 2 iota is an imaginary number, etc. So wherever the term iota is there, it means the number belongs to an imaginary family. So complex numbers has two parts. One is imaginary number, another is called real number. Imaginary number, imaginary numbers, imaginary parts, and real numbers. Real numbers, you know. So real numbers are like, imaginary numbers are like minus 3 iota, 2 iota, 7 iota, etc. Real numbers, you know, minus 3, minus 2, 1, 5, 7, 11, etc. These are real numbers. Further, real numbers can be divided into two types of number, and they are categorized as, one of them is called rational number and another of them is called irrational numbers. Rational numbers and irrational numbers are two types of real numbers. So irrational numbers, right? Irrational numbers are under root 2, under root 3, under cube root of 5, etc. These type of numbers are irrational numbers. Rational numbers are 2 by 3 minus 5 by 7 under root of 16 etc. These are rational numbers. Further, this rational number can be divided into two parts, two types. One is called integers and then fraction. Integers and fraction. So fraction numbers are like that, 2 by 3, 3 by 5, where denominator is more than 1, they are called fraction numbers. And integers are of three types. One is negative integers, positive integers and 0. Positive integers and negative integers and 0. Negative integers. So you can say negative integers and positive integers, or even you can describe this in better way, that negative integers and whole numbers. Even you write negative integers and whole numbers, you may write. That whole number is what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. It will be better because positive integers and 0 makes whole numbers. 0 makes whole numbers. So whole numbers. Whole numbers are what? 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 like this. And this is negative integers, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1 etc. These are negative integers. Whole numbers can have two categories. One is 0 and another is natural numbers. Natural numbers are like this. Natural numbers has two categories. One is called even numbers and another is called odd numbers. Odd numbers. Right now. So even number and odd number. What is that? A 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another category can be 1, 3, 5, 7, 9. These are the odd numbers. And 2, 4, 6, 8. These are the even numbers. Even 0 can be also considered into it. But the further categorization of this natural numbers as prime number and composite numbers. Prime numbers and composite number. Prime numbers and composite numbers. So prime numbers are what? Composite numbers. Prime numbers are those which can divide by itself or 1, that is 2, 3, 5, 7, 11 etc. These are prime numbers. Composite numbers are those numbers which has exactly two divisors. That is what? Exactly at least 3 divisors. Composite numbers are those which has exactly at least 3 divisors. So 4, 6, 8, 9, 10 which has at least 3 divisors. Even more than 3 divisors are possible. For example, 10 has divisor 1, 2, 5, 10. There are 4 divisors. So even more than 3 divisors are permissible, but it should have at least 3 divisors, whereas real numbers should have only exactly 2 divisors. 0 is neither prime nor composite. Okay. So this is a complete summary of numbers, basic knowledge about the numbers. I hope you got it and you learn it right now. Now some questions related to prime numbers I would like to tell you on the basis of this assumptions and this learning, what and how can we solve some questions related to prime numbers. So before discussing the properties of prime number, let me discuss a few easy questions which will come into mind, and generally they are asked in competitive examination. So first question is that, let me write here, that question is how many times digit how many times 3 will appear up to 100. This is the question. How many times digit 3 will appear up to 100? To answer such question, generally students are not able to answer quickly. Why? Because of the lack of some knowledge. They are not able to answer such questions, some questions. And these questions can be answered by learning 2 facts. Just to make it clear, I would like to start it from ab initio, that how and why we should calculate quickly, and what the basic idea and what the thought process. If I can write numbers, that numbers start from 1, 2, 3, because 0 is not a natural number, So if I can write here 1, 2, counting start from 1, 2, 3, na? So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like that. Then what will happen? 8, 9, 10. Unit place, this is called unit place digit. If you observe this, then every digit will appear once at unit place. 2, 3, 4, 5, every digit will appear once at unit place. Similarly, if I can write here that counting is start from 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 and 20, then every digit will again appear twice at unit place. 3 is here, 3 is here. So 3 will appear 1 times up to 10, 2 times up to 20, 3 times up to 30, you know. So like that, every digit will appear once at unit place till 10, 2 times at 20 up to 20, 3 times up to 30, 4 times up to 50, 5 times up to 50, 6 times up to 60, and similarly 10 times up to 100. For example, let me count here that how 3 will appear 10 times up to 100 at unit place. 3, 13, 23, 33, 43, 53, 63, 73, 83, 93. So 3 will appear 10 times at unit place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You know. So every digit will appear 10 times at unit place. For example, if I want to calculate 7, then 17, 27, 37, 47, 57, 67, 77, 87, 97. So again, this will come 10 times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. 10 times at unit place. So every digit will appear at unit place 10 times up to 100. This is one information. Forget, some people might be thinking that 3 will appear here 2 times. Why not you have calculated this one here, because it is appeared 2 times here. But I am not calculating because I am talking about unit place only. I am not talking about tens place. So every digit will appear. Similarly here 7 is not calculated because we are talking about unit place only. So one information you must gather here, that every digit will appear at unit place 10 times. This is one very important information. Every digit will appear at unit place till 100 10 times. 10 times. Every digit will appear 10 times up to 100. Right now? Every digit will appear 10 times up to 100 at unit place. 0 is also appear 10 times. How is that? You can memorize it like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90 and 100. 0 is here. So every digit will appear 10 times at unit place. Every means every digit. How many digits are there? There are only 10 digits. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And that is why, because of this 10 digits, they are called decimal numeration system. The number system in which these 10 digits are used, they are called decimal numeration system. Numeric and calculation based on the basis of these 10 digits. Otherwise, there is a system in which only 2 digits are used. That is called binary system, in which 0 and 1 is only the digit which can be used, and any number can be written in form of using 0 and 1. So that is called binary system. Here 10 digits are used to write a number, any number. So any number can be formed with the help of these 10 digits. So that is why this is called decimal numeration system. So here 0 will appear 10 times. Now, so every digit will appear 10 times up to 100 at unit place. Now what about tens place? Tens place, every digit will appear also 10 times except 0. Every digit will appear 10 times at every digit digit will appear 10 times at tens place up to 100. How is that? Except 0. How is that? Suppose counting start with 3, then 30 will come here. If counting start with 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, So 30 to 39, 3 will remain fixed at tens place. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So every digit will have opportunity to appear 10 times at tens place as well. So except 0. So every digit will appear 10 times. You remember this, 10 times up to 10 times at tens place up to 100. Remember this one also. Similarly, how you can get the opportunity? 7 will appear 10 times. For example, when I write counting from 70 to 79, 7 will appear 10 times at tens place. Right now? Similarly, any digit you can find out at tens place. So this is what. Similarly, 40 to 49, 4 will appear 10 times. So every digit has similar opportunity that they will appear 10 times at unit place and 10 times at tens place. So up to 100, every digit will appear 20 times. 10 times at unit place, 10 times at tens place. So one thing which you need to remember is this two fact, that every digit will appear at unit place 10 times. Up to 100. And every digit will appear 10 times at unit place, tens place, 10 times 200 except 0, which will appear only 1. 0 will appear at tens place up to 100 only once, right now, in 100 only. When I write 100, then 0 will appear at tens place. There it will be 0. Otherwise 0 won't be appear up to 100. Now question is that you remember two fact. This is the two fact, that every digit will appear 10 times at unit place and every digit will appear 10 times at 100 place. These are the two fact you remember in general, except 0, and 0 has case exception, that 0 will appear only once at tens place. Now someone asks you another question, that what will be the digit, how many times digit will appear, how many times digit 2 will appear up to 500. So easily one can say, in 100, first 100 they will appear 20 times, in next 100 they will appear 40 times, in third times they will appear, in 300, 200 to 300 they will appear 20 times again at unit and tens place, in 400 to 500 they will appear 20 times again at unit place and tens place. So easily one can say that at unit place and tens place, in first 500 they will appear 20 into 5, that is 1000 times. 20 into 5, that is 100 times. But 2 will appear at 100 place as well. When counting start from 200, then 200 to 299, 2 will remain fixed at 100 place. This is a 100 place. Unit place, tens place and 100 place. 2 will remain fixed. How many times? 100 times. So 100 times at this place. 2 will appear 100 times at this place. 100 times at 100th place. 100th place. Right now? 100th place. And at unit place and tens place, how many times? 10 times at unit place, 10 times at tens place, that is 20 times. So unit place, 10th place, 20 times between 200 to 300, but up to 500, they will be 100 times. So total number is 100 plus 100, that is 200 times. You remember? Let me explain once more. From 0 to 100, unit place 10 times, tens place 10 times. From 100 to 199, 10 times at unit place, 10 times at tens place. Right now, from 200 to 299, 2 will come 10 times at unit place, 10 times at tens place, but 100 times at 100 place. Again, from 300 to 399, we can say 10 times at unit place, because in any 100, 10 times every digit will appear at unit place, 10 times at this place, but at 100 place 2 won't come, 3 will remain. From 400 to 499, 10 times every digit will appear at unit place, 10 times at this place, but at this place 2 won't come. So that is why 490 and thereafter next number is 500, which is not to be included because it is a between. So there will be 20 times here, 20 times there, 20 times there, 20 times there, 20 times there, and 100 times there. So total will be 200. But easily one can analyze without doing all this exercise that in first 100 there will be 20 times. So in 500, 20 into 5 is 100 times, and just take care that whether it is a 100 place or not. So unit plus tens place, it is 100 times, and 100 place it is 100 times. So 100 plus 100 is 200. Easily can be answered within seconds. Right now, so you can write some questions, answer some questions on the basis of this, and definitely you will be able to answer the question. One more question that can be that has been already asked in UPSC CSAT examination, that how many times digit 6 will appear between 500 to 700. Question: how many times digit 6 will appear between 500 to 700. This is a question. How many times? So one can write the question that from 599, this is 100 number, every digit will appear 10 times at unit place and 10 times at 100 place. 6 won't appear at 100 place. When counting start from 600 to 699, then every digit will appear 10 times at unit place, 10 times at tens place. So 6 will also appear 10 times at unit place and 10 times at tens place, but 100 times at 100 place, because we want digit 6 and 6 will appear here 100 times. So between 500 to 600 just 20 times, between 600 to 700 120 times. So total is 140 times. That can be answered in seconds if you have a good practice. Another way you can think like that 500 to 700 is the difference of 200. In 100 unit place 10 place is 20 times. So in 200, 20 into 2, 40 times. And now you will see that whether this will lie, tens will lie at 100 plus digit will lie or not. So between 500 to 700, 6 definitely will lie at 100 place. That will be 100 times. So total answer is 140. So be quick and faster and think like this, and definitely you will be able to answer this question. So some more questions you can practice, and even you have some questions, you can practice them. Some previous year questions, you can analyze them. And if you are unable to solve these questions, you can ask in the next classes as well. And till now, if there is any doubt, you can ask this live chat, and we are happy to help you. One more question I am going to tackle: how many times digit 3 will appear. 3 will appear up to 1000. Up to 1000. So this is the question. How many times? Digit 3 will appear up to 1000. So digit 3 will appear up to 1000. Up to 100 every digit will appear 10 times. Up to 20, 200, 20 times. Up to 300, 30 times. Up to 400, 40 times. Up to 500, 50 times. And up to 1000, 100 times. So 3 will appear at unit place up to 1000, 100 times. Right now? 3 will appear at tens place similarly, also up to 1000 is also 100 times similarly, because up to 100 they will appear 10 times, up to 200 20 times, up to 300 30 times, up to 400 40 times, up to 500 50 times, and similarly up to 1000 it will be 100 times. And 3 will appear at 100 place when counting a start from 300 and onward, that is 300 to 399, it will be again 100 times. So total number is 300 times. So 3 will appear up to 1000 how many times? 300 times. Similarly 4 will appear up to 1000 how many times? 300 times. Sometimes I ask in the class and many students answer that 4 appear will 400 times, 5 appear will 500 times, but not like that. Every digit will appear up to 1300 times except 0, because 0 do not lie at 100 place and only 1 times at tens place in up to 100, and similarly up to 200 20 times and 2 times, up to 300 3 times, and tens place up to 1000 10 times only. So unit place they will appear 100 times, tens place 0 will appear 10 times, and 100 place they won't appear, only one when we write 1000. So that will be the answer, but not in case of 0, but you have to find whether the digit 3 will appear how many times, that is 300 times. So digit 3 will appear 300 times, and 4 will appear also 300 times, 5 will appear also 300 times, and so on. Every digit will appear at unit place 300 times except 0. 0 has the different story that I have already tell you, that 0 will come up to 100 only once at tens place, but at unit place 10 times, up to 200 20 times, up to 300 30 times, so up to 1000 100 times. But at tens place once at, when I write counting, that up to 100, and when I write counting up to 100 to 200, then 0 will come at tens place continuously, that is 100 times. So 10 times and 100 times, like that. So if I write counting, that 101, 102, 103, then 0 will come here. 0 will come here till 102. If I start from 100 and goes to 199, then what will happen? 109, then this will be 10 times, and thereafter again it will not come. So you have to be careful while you have to calculate 0, but in all other cases this is the straightforward rule that every digit will appear at unit place 10 times, and up to 100 every digit will appear at unit place 10 times up to 100, and 10 times at tens place as well. I hope you got this. Some questions you must try to solve. Even then, if there is any difficulty, you are welcome to ask any question, and some more questions we will discuss in the next class on this basis of number system. Till then, bye bye, God bless, and be happy. I hope you got this useful and important. This is the very first class, so that is why this lecture is somehow more over theory, less practical questions. But in next class, I assure you that some practical questions will come, and definitely it will improve the knowledge, level of knowledge. So till then, bye bye, God bless, good night.